am so excited to dive into this content today. I'm so excited to help you guys understand what the invitation looks like in your business so you can fall into deep alignment within calling in the clients, within calling in the money, within calling the opportunities in, because here's the thing, invitations don't just relate to people. When your aura is in alignment as a projector, you're going to be calling in all of the things because the openness is there. Openness is openness. And having closed off energy when it comes to the invitation is going to close you off to all things. It's going to close you off to the clients and the money and the opportunities and the random events that can blow your mind. It's going to close you off to anything that is outside of the realms of logic. And if you guys are in my world and you're playing in the human design world, you are not here for logic. You're here for big leaps and big jumps. So I am so excited. Okay, so this masterclass is going to be one where I want you guys to really be in the energy of what the invitation feels like, because this is not just a concept of like, here's an invitation, here's the thing, how do I get the invitation? This is an energetic frequency that you guys are meant to align to. And we're going to talk about the invitation specifically in business, and I'm kind of going to flip the paradigm of waiting, which is super fun. So I'm really excited. But to start foundationally, it's really important that you guys are kind of in tune with what your superpowers are as projectors, because there is a lot of conditioning within projectors of being in second place, of feeling not seen, of feeling not good enough, of feeling like they can't build their businesses the way that they want to, especially in alignment with waiting for the invitation. Because we've been raised in this paradigm where it's like, if you want something, go and get it, go and make it happen, push, force, forward. And here's the thing about being a projector is you guys will notice that if you are not operating from a feminine energy, you are going to feel burnt out. You are going to feel like you're pushing too hard. You are going to feel these severe ebbs within your business. And here's the thing, no human design type is better suited towards having a massively expansive business than the other. And so you guys really do get to create businesses that are in alignment with this feminine energy. But first, we have to talk about the conditioning. First, we have to talk about what the invitation actually looks like in practice energetically. What the invitation looks like in your actual business. Because it changes. It changes when we talk about your business, right? We also have to talk about what those superpowers are and those pieces of conditioning that tell you that you're not good enough, that tell you that you can't do it your way. Because here's the thing, as being a projector, you guys have a reparenting process to do on yourselves. This is something I'm going into really deeply in the projector program that I have coming up that I'm going to tell you guys about at the end of this. But you guys have a reparenting process going on within your energetic system where you are not only reparenting yourself from the things that you experienced during childhood, where you were not seen, where you were not heard, where you were called a know-it-all, where your ability to see the way things work was not appreciated because you were just a kid, or you need to follow this rule, or you do it because I say so. When you saw so clearly how things could work and how things should work and how things could be more efficient, and really got stuffed into this paradigm of being a generator or manifesting generator when that's not how your energy is meant to work, right? Your energy is actually meant to sense, and that deep sensing has been shut down over time. It's been shut down through our parents. It's been shut down through our schools. It's been shut down by watching other business owners do it a certain way. It's been shut down by the patriarchy, right? Hi, Gerald. Oh my gosh, I love your name. It's been shut down by the patriarchy, right? And so I want you guys to understand that the process that you may have already started going through or may start during this masterclass is a reparenting process. And so what we're going to be doing within this is we're going to be looking at the frequency you're operating in and where you're operating from conditioning. And we're going to be practicing you into the alignment frequency for a projector. So I am so excited. A couple of things within this masterclass. At the end, I'm going to be talking about a program that I am offering that is in early bird that is for projectors in business. Also, you guys, if you are note takers, I know projectors, you guys love your notes. You love taking in the information and really synthesizing it. The first time you watch this masterclass, you guys do get lifetime access to this masterclass. It's going to go into the guide section of the group. I want you to be here and be present. Because here's the thing, you guys can take all the notes, but this is a frequency that is felt. As I start to talk about the invitation, I want you to be here with me instead of looking at your journal and looking back up and all of the things, because that's how you're gonna really start to absorb this information and start to integrate it. And when you want to take notes, come back to it. Come back to this, rewatch it, comment, leave comments. If you have questions, I am fully here for you during this. Probably it's going to be about an hour masterclass. So I want you guys to be here, be present, be engaged, because that engagement, it actually opens up your senses to absorb this information even more fully. Because as projectors, I want to talk about your first superpower. You guys are so freaking sensing. You feel auras like it's nobody's business. You are masters at business. That's something I want you guys to truly own in the way that you are operating, because when we look at the root of what business is, what is it? It is connection between people. But it's connection between people. And you get to bring that connection and that sensing energy that you have into your business. You guys are actually so freaking powerful at helping people. And when you're in doubt of that, we lose a foundational piece that is absolutely needed for you guys to get invitations. So I want you guys to really own that, because here's how your charts work. Even if you have a super defined chart as a projector, your energy system still is this penetrating aura. And what happens is you are always taking things in. You're taking in your environment. You're taking in the people around you. You're taking in these things. And what this translates to is you almost see people better than they see themselves. Seriously, you guys see where other people are keeping themselves stuck. You guys see where other people can expand massively by taking this action. You guys see where people are being inefficient, not only in their systems and processes. I know there's so much about projectors only being good at systems and processes, and that's like your superpower. No, you're good at seeing the bigger picture. And you guys are so capable of going into those minute details just because of your sensing. And so many of you guys have embodied this conditioning of, I need to know more, I need to be more, I need to get to a certain point before I can own this superpower. This superpower is you. It is you. It's your essence. Your essence, your pure essence, and your aura, besides all of the mind patterns telling you guys that you aren't ready or you need to know more, it's not true. It's not true. So being present, baby, yes. I have to absorb, no note taking for me. Yes, Lucy, so in alignment. So within that, you guys are excellent at business, because business, the foundation of it is helping people. It's helping people, right? Even if you are a graphic designer, you are still sensing the things that somebody is saying, and you can go deeper into, okay, here's what they actually mean. Even if you are a coach, you are sensing their energy and you're able to go in deeper, right? Even if you are a manager at a store, you are able to sense deeper into people's auras and go into what they need to do, what would help them, where they're keeping themselves stuck. So when you get to own this frequency, then we start to be able to own your superpower of, you guys are actually really good at this and you don't need a bunch of extra shit in order to start showing up. So that is the first piece. You guys just know what is correct for others. You have that deep sense and that deep feeling. And when you really own that you're good at that, we suddenly get to start tapping into your passions, right? Because that's going to be the first layer of conditioning that's really going to come up is, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do the big thing that I want to do. I'm not ready to charge the prices that I want to charge. I'm not ready to be a coach, or I'm not ready to coach on this specific thing. Or I can't choose because nothing feels right, because I'm never going to hit a point of readiness. I want you guys to know that you're never gonna feel ready based on an external circumstance. You never are gonna feel ready based on an external circumstance. And so, knowing that, we get to tap into, okay, who am I? And let that be enough. So really understanding your guys' aura is the first step in being able to integrate and embody what the invitation actually means. And so many projectors are struggling to create sustainable businesses and grow their businesses and expand their businesses because it feels like they're not being seen. It feels like you're not good enough. It feels like you have to push and you have to make things happen in order to have the results that you see other people having. It feels like it's not going to happen in your natural energy, in that feminine energy, right? And part of the reason why you guys push so hard is because you haven't fully and deeply integrated this belief about your superpower of being able to truly impact other people's lives because of your sensing aura. I want to know in the comments, how many of you guys feel like you have to do business a certain way in order for it to work? And that if you were to fully trust and fall into that feminine flow within business, it would just crash and burn. Is that conditioning underneath your psyche? Because here's the thing, we can go all day like, I get to do business my way, but then in the actual moment to moment, we're going to talk about the moment in just a minute, in the actual moment to moment execution of running our businesses, of showing up, there's this energy of, what if it doesn't happen and we do this? We push forward. We go into, I got to make it happen. What's the next right thing to do? It's searching based on logic. It's searching based on logic. The craving for recognition, 100%. I know that's not true, but I don't know what that looks like. Yes, 100%. 100%. And so, like, if you don't have that layer of conditioning where you're like, oh, I feel like I have to, I feel like I need to force, there's also the fear of like, I want to be in my feminine flow. I want to be in complete alignment as a projector, but like, what does that even look like? Right? And even from that space, we're operating from a mind-based space of logic, and logic is going to put us into that masculine paradigm. I felt it for so long, and now as I've been relaxing more and trusting my own way, I feel so much liberation. That is incredible. I'm resonating more with the not feeling ready part, trying to figure out what would work best for me right now without comparing to others too. 100%. Yeah. Comparison for projectors it's one of those things that it can really penetrate your field, and then you kind of lose touch with what the next right thing is for you, right? And so really getting into a space of trusting that you're meant to help people and you're excellent at it gives you that baseline of like, oh, okay, now we get to operate from like, what is the next step? And we're going to go into that. Comparison is the thief of joy for sure. 100%. 100%. So what we want to do within this masterclass is I want you guys to really get into alignment with the invitation, because this is the key to calling in everything that you desire, right? And within kind of the strategy pieces and all of that, that's something I go into deeper within the Projector program. But the invitation is such a key component of the way you guys are going to show up in your life and your business based on what you think about how to get invitations, because so many projectors are in a space of waiting for the invitation and thinking that's in alignment. So I'm going to say some things in this masterclass that could be seen as controversial within the human design world. I've coached a lot of projectors. I've worked with a lot of energy types that are not projectors and projectors. And I can tell you that the word wait, it was lost in translation. The way Ra Uru Hu, the founder of human design, meant it, it has been lost in translation based on how we have been talking about human design. And it is very, very important that we understand that waiting is not something that should be in your energy field. So I'm so excited to talk about this. We're going to flip this on its head. And when we flip this on its head, it's going to feel like so much space and so much freedom within your aura because, because waiting is a stagnation where we suddenly move out of being the leading energy in our life and in our business. Because here's the thing. If you're waiting, your people are too. If you're waiting, the money is too. Right? And so I want to get deeper into this. So the energy of waiting, it implies that in order for you to feel a certain way or take a certain action, something outside of you needs to happen first. Something outside of you needs to happen first. And I want you guys to do a mental check. You can do this mentally or you can do this in the comments. The things you want to do in your business. Okay, I reconnected. We should be back. Sorry for the interruption. Sometimes the internet drops on Facebook and it doesn't do that on any of my other apps. So I want you guys to do that mental check, either in your mind or in the comments. Are you in waiting energy in your life, in your business? Are you waiting for something outside of yourself in order to feel a certain way or take a certain action? Usually, the action and the feeling are wrapped up in themselves. For example, are you waiting for the clients to come in order to feel worthy of clients? Are you waiting for the money to come in to feel safe? Are you waiting for 100% certainty to choose a path, to choose a direction? Are you posting your content? Are you writing your content and then waiting on your phone? Are you going in, checking your phone and going, I wonder if I have any messages? I wonder if anybody bought this? Waiting energy is very, very reactive. It's very reactive. And so what we want to start doing is we want to start going into a paradigm of being proactive with our energy. And when we really, truly understand the invitation, we're not going to be waiting, because your goal as a projector and where you see everything in your life change is when you actually step out of the waiting energy. The waiting is what's keeping you stuck. And as a human design coach, I see all of the things about wait for the invitation. I even use it in my content. But I want you guys to know that it shouldn't feel like waiting. There should be movement in your energy, because here's the thing. Everything is always responding to you. And the way your guys' auras work is if you are waiting, you are in the forward masculine paradigm energy, because you are leaned forward looking for something outside of yourself in order to call things in. In order to call things in. I'm going to catch up on these comments really quickly. I really want you guys to feel it into like the energy shift here of like, oh my God, I've been waiting. This will transform everything for you in your life and in your business. Yay, I'm so glad I'm back. The connection is good. I really feel this right now. Waiting, gorgeous, something else. Yeah, waiting on something else to give me permission. 100%. Yes. Ooh, good questions. So glad. Thank you for tagging Shannon, Holly. Move, act on an invitation instead. So I'm going to tell you guys the nuances of what the invitation is actually meant to look like, because you guys are meant to wait for the invitation for everything, right? And I'm going to talk about like what that energy actually feels like, because I want you guys to really feel into, and this is why I said that this masterclass is super energetic, because I want you to feel into your energetic system. Where does it feel like you're waiting? Where does it feel like you're waiting? Drop those things into the comments. Because if we are waiting, the universe, invitations are waiting on us. When we are in a waiting energy in the present moment, what's going to be reflected back to us is waiting energy. That's how the universe works, right? The frequency that we are operating in right now is the frequency that the universe is responding to. The universe is responding to us. And so if it's responding to me and I am waiting, then what's the response going to be? It's going to be waiting, right? And so if you're in this energy anywhere in your business, what you're going to notice is that you're not seeing the aligned invitations coming in. And I want you guys to really think about this. Movement in your energy creates movement within the invitations coming in. And that movement causes movement in other areas as well. Not only in the clients coming in, but the money coming in, the ideas coming in, the inspiration coming in. There are so many projectors who I know who wait for the right idea, who wait for the inspiration, and they're just in this energy of like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to post, I don't know anything. And it's because you're waiting for something to happen in order for you to show up. And I'm going to talk about what that showing up looks like. If you're in that space of like, I have no idea what to say, I have no idea what to post, it's okay. We're going to go into that in just a minute. We're going to really attune your energy to the frequency of what it means to not be waiting. Move, act on the invitation instead. Well, I guess I stopped waiting and just started being more present with what was in front of me. Could be anywhere else than where I was. Yeah, 100% more present with the present. Yes, 100%. Ooh, the waiting for inspiration. Yes, 100%. So there is a moment where it can be considered within a projector alignment, waiting for the invitation. But you are never going to feel the waiting within your energy. It's just a nuance of words. We'll talk in a minute about how your energy should feel. But you're not going to be waiting for the invitation in the way you operate in your business. The only time you wait for the invitation, and you're not waiting. The only time you're existing and the invitation comes in and then you act upon it, that's a better way of saying it, is when you are giving a specific person curated and guided advice. A specific person. So if I were a projector right now, you guys know I'm a manifesting generator, but I'm a human design coach. So if I were a projector right now, you guys talking right here, I don't need to wait for the invitation to talk to you guys about all of these things. But if, let's say for instance, I saw Lily comment, or I basically just saw Lily. Lily didn't even comment. There's nothing to respond to. And I went into her inbox. I'm not waiting for the invitation. So, how many of you guys have felt like you have to wait for the invitation in your business and didn't take as much action based on that? Because here's the thing with waiting for the invitation. Remember your superpower? Remember your superpower of having a super penetrating aura, of knowing how people can improve their lives, how they can do it better, how they can streamline their processes, where they're messing up, where they're keeping themselves held back, where they can actually make things explode for themselves, how they can do things in a way that just is in complete alignment for them. You guys sense all of those things. And when you go and tell somebody that, unsolicited, that's where we fall into misalignment with the invitation. There's no waiting in your energy. But when it comes to a specific person you see, you need the invitation before you act. And this has gotten misconstrued in the way that projectors run their businesses. How many of you guys have ever seen somebody doing something, this can be in your business or in your actual physical life, and you've gone, hey, you're doing that wrong, or hey, here's what would be better, and you're met with, I don't want to do that. Like you can sense in their aura, they're just like, don't want that, or it causes an argument with a family member. This is the only place where we are in the energy of waiting to receive the invitation. And so many projectors are exhausted because they're energetically tying themselves to these events and situations before they've gotten the invitation. Or they're giving the advice, the unsolicited advice, and stepping into a place of bitterness. We're going to talk about how this relates to business in just a second. How many of you guys have ever felt that? And so what happens is this is reflected in our aura. Ooh, it's really windy outside. And the way we're interacting within our businesses as well. So I want to talk a little bit about the invitation related to specific individuals first, so you guys have clarity on what that actually looks like. So invitations can either be overt or covert invitations. So an overt invitation is a super, super obvious invitation. This is somebody saying, hey, I want to work with you. How do I pay you? This is somebody coming into your DMs. This is somebody booking a call with you. And covert invitations are a little bit less obvious. They're the ones where you're standing next to somebody and you can feel them struggling and you know that they're open to advice just based on your energy field. It's a sensing energy field, right? It's also somebody being in your group. When somebody joins your Facebook group, follows you on Instagram, watches your stories, this is an invitation for you to talk to them deeper within your business. This doesn't mean cold DMing people, but this is the invitation for this. This is showing you that people want to hear what you have to say. This is going to tie into what the invitation looks like in business. Right? You guys get to tap into what's right based on the invitations. Yet, so many projectors are in a space of bitterness because either they're not getting the invitations that they want. If you're not getting the invitations you want, you're in waiting energy, by the way. Because if I, in the present moment, am not happy with the amount of things that I'm getting, I'm closed off because I'm in resistance to what is in this present moment instead of being open and moving within my energy. I need something in order to feel a certain way or be a certain way within my business. I want you guys to look and feel into this really, really deeply, because this energy can be sneaky. The waiting energy can be very, very sneaky for projectors. I've dove into this with my projector clients, and it's like, they're like, I'm not waiting energy, everything's great. And then they're like, but where's the clients and where's the money? And I'm like, oh, gotcha. Let's clean that up, right? Let's clean that up. Because as long as you're in waiting, you're gonna get reflected in the universe, waiting right back. And it's just gonna feel this perpetual cycle of, why isn't my business scaling the way I want? Why does it feel like I have to push in order to get results? And those results feel very logic based. They feel like not grand expansion. They feel like normal, logical step A plus B equals C expansion. What is the thing within my energy that would call that expansion? This is it, the waiting. So, are you guys ready to talk about waiting for the invitation in your business? We've laid the foundation. We've talked about what the invitation looks like. We've talked about what waiting energy looks like. We've talked about your superpower that you get to own. You have to own that. You have to do that reparenting process to where you own your gift of being able to truly, deeply help people before you're able to step into the part I'm going to talk about now. You have to do that reparenting process. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so in business, you guys should be waiting for the invitation 0%. 0%. There is no invitation for you to do what you want to do, for you to expand the way you want to expand, for the clients to come in, for the money to come in, because all of it starts with that self-leadership energy. We've been building up to this point. And so, in order for you guys to actually get those invitations, the invitations that we just talked about, where people are showing up in your inbox like, hey, how can I pay you? Hey, Catherine, how do I pay you? Hey, I want to work with you. There are 3 things that need to happen. And these words can be similar. I use these words because there are different frequencies that different projectors really resonate with, but this is an encapsulation of what you guys are actually searching for when you are in that forward energy. In order to get the aligned invitations that you desire, you guys need to be seen, heard, and recognized. You need to be seen, heard, and recognized. And here's the thing that's been really misconstrued about human design is this idea of waiting for an invitation. So many people have started implementing that in a way where it's like, okay, I'm going to show up in my business as powerfully as I want based on the response that I'm getting, based on validation. I'm going to fully own that I'm really good at what I do based on the validation, based on who buys, based on the things. And from that space, you're not allowing yourself to fully be seen, heard, and recognized. Because waiting for the invitation, there is no waiting. A lot of people have misconstrued this with sitting in a corner waiting for the inspiration, waiting for the idea, waiting for the readiness to know that they can go for what they want, waiting to raise their prices, waiting to launch the program that they want to launch. Waiting to talk about the things that they want to talk about. And here's the thing. If you are in waiting energy, you're not going to be seen, heard, and recognized. So foundationally, being seen, heard, and recognized means you guys show up. That means you show up. And we're going to talk about that showing up in just a second. But if you are showing up from the energy of waiting, then we're not tapped into the true essence of what's possible for you. You're not going to get the aligned invitations because you're not being seen, heard, and recognized by yourself when you are in waiting energy. You are not being seen, heard, and recognized by yourself when you are in waiting energy. And so, you are taking action. Even by taking action, you can still be in waiting from a place of needing that. The opposite energy of waiting is moving. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? I love this so, so much because here's the thing. A lot of projectors, when they work with me, they have established businesses. They're showing up, they're creating the content, they're doing the things. And then we start private coaching together and they're like, Christy, I'm not seeing the money. Christy, where are the clients? Christy, and I'm like, you're still waiting. And they're like, no, I'm showing up, I'm doing the things. And then we dive into the underlying energy, the energy that they're operating in. Here's the full circle, you guys. If you guys are meant to operate in a feminine energy paradigm, then you aren't constantly meant to be doing. You guys are meant to do things. Yeah, absolutely. If you're a projector and you're not doing anything in your business, I'm going to be like, okay, well, we need to do something. But because you guys are meant to operate in this different dynamic, your energy speaks louder than your words. And so, when you are posting and you are creating and you are doing all of the things and you're like, where are they? Where's the money? Where's the things? We're still in waiting energy. And then the universe is in waiting energy on us. We can still be in waiting even when we're doing things. We're waiting to be seen, heard, and recognized because we're not seeing, hearing, and recognizing ourselves. Opposite of waiting is living your fullness and enjoying what you're doing so you can be out there to be seen. I'm about to talk about that. So, in order for you to not be in waiting, you have to decondition this piece that tells you that you're not good enough, that you need to know more in order to start showing up, that you have to pick the perfect thing. Perfectionism is a form of waiting, a huge form of waiting. And you need to show up and talk about what lights you up. It's living in your fullness, just like Bethany said. If there's any waiting energy within you, you're in misalignment. And we have to disentangle what lights you up as being the thing that's tied to the money, that's tied to the clients. Because until we disentangle that, until we disentangle that it needs to be perfect, there's going to be so much pressure when I say follow what lights you up. If those things are tied to money, to clients, to having to choose the right thing, you're going to feel so much pressure when I say that. And if you've disentangled those things, then you're going to feel so light when I say that. So I want you guys to drop in the comments. When I say follow what lights you up, does that feel tense or open for you? Does that feel tense or open? This is going to be a huge indicator of if you tied things to your light up. Open, open. You guys are doing the work. I love it. And if it feels closed for you, I want you to tap into where you've tied perfectionism to it. Where you've tied, I have to do the right thing because then this will or won't happen. With clients, with money, with all of those pieces. So when it comes to following your light up, we have to make sure that you're not in waiting energy. We have to make sure you're not in waiting energy. So where are you waiting for the clients, the inspiration to make the next right move for you? For validation? I want you guys to get really real with yourself. The next big piece with this, the even deeper layer within waiting energy, is where are you guys not fully here, fully present, and working to get to somewhere else? Waiting energy can actually be reflected as resistance to this present moment. Resistance to the present circumstances, events, things, perceived lack of things happening in your life, happening in your business. Because here's the thing. In order to draw in invitations, our energy systems have to be open. Our energy systems have to be open. Open to what is here and now. Because here's the thing, you guys can't be open in 10 minutes. You can't worry about being open in 10 minutes. You can't worry about how open you've been or not been. The only place where you can attune your frequency to alignment is right here and right now. Because when you're in resistance to your current circumstances, and when you're in resistance to the number of clients, the amount of money, in resistance to fully seeing yourself, in resistance to fully owning your superpowers as a projector, in resistance to, oh, I'm not inspired and all of these things, in resistance to what you think isn't coming in, then you're in resistance to all in the present moment. But when you're fully here, now, in this present moment, and you are open, you're able to receive invitations, but you're not open to get the invitation. You're open because you're showing up in your light up. Here's the thing. You guys are meant to show up and talk about the things that you love from a place of seeing yourself first. And there are a couple of pieces of conditioning that are going to get in the way of you feeling seen, heard, and recognized first. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create content, go out there and wait to be seen, heard, and recognized because you don't have the foundation of seeing it yourself, right? So the conditioning that's going to get in the way of this first is always feeling like you're in second place. This is a huge piece of conditioning for projectors. How this shows up? Comparison. How this shows up? I feel like I'm moving slower than other people. How this shows up? Bitterness, because it feels like it's not working. So your job is to do the deconditioning work. Another piece, not actually wanting to be seen. This sounds like a conundrum, right? It's like, I want to be seen. I want the money. I want the clients. And then a lot of projectors will go into, but what if I mess up? But what if I get the money? What if I have my first 10K month or 20K month and all of a sudden I can't do it again? What if the clients come in and I disappoint them? What if something goes wrong? What if I'm misinterpreted? And what this will create is such a push and pull in your energetic system that there's no openness. Because it's like, I want this, but I don't want this. I want this, but I don't want this. And so how are we going to be seen, heard, and recognized if there's duplicity in our energy? If there's this duplicitousness, ooh, that's a word. I actually don't think that's a word. If there's this duplicity in, I want to be seen, heard, and recognized, but also I don't want to be seen, heard, and recognized. It's like, come to me, all of the things, and you've got the blockers up. It can't come in. It literally can't come in. If you are playing into the paradigm of you being in second place or actually having a deep-rooted fear of being seen, heard, and recognized. The last piece is that really relates to the conditioning that's going to keep you from seeing, recognizing, and hearing yourself is feeling like you're not allowed to get too good at anything. You guys don't trust yourselves with the dives. You don't trust yourself to go all the way. Because what happens if you go all the way and then nobody sees, hears, and recognizes you? You go into a space of, doesn't even matter anyway. You shut off your light up. This also stems from a fear of not being seen. A fear of putting in the effort, putting in the work, following your heart, going all in, and what if they don't see me? What if this doesn't work anyway? And a lot of projectors have this conditioning actually deep-rooted in their past, of times they did all of the things, they went super, super deep, and then they weren't seen or recognized for it. Here's the thing, you guys. If you are not seeing, hearing, and recognizing yourself first, even if you're moving, you're in waiting energy. This is going to be your biggest block to the invitations. So when you really, really dive deep and look at those pieces of conditioning, where are you saying, I want this, but also I don't want it? Because what if? Where are you saying, I want this, but it never happens fast for me, and it seems like other people just have more energy and they can do it that way and I should do it that way, but I don't have the energy to do it that way, and that just exhausts me, so I'm just going to lean back and wait. Where are you going? It doesn't really matter anyway, so I'm just not even going to go in deep. I'm not going to trust this dive. I'm not going to go in with my whole heart, because my heart could get hurt if I go in all the way. If I truly go for this and I'm not seen, that's going to hurt, so I'm not going to truly go for this. I'm going to act like I'm good, I'm fine. It's a self-protection mechanism. And what happens when we're self-protecting in this current moment? If I'm self-protecting in my aura in this current moment, I'm self-protecting from all. Remember what I said. Openness to invitations, openness to your current experience, it's openness to all. Resistance in this present moment is resistance to all. Self-protection in this moment is self-protection from the aligned invitations. So looking at those pieces of conditioning is going to be everything for you in order to not show up in your business from waiting energy. You do not wait for the invitation in your business. That can show up by you showing up in a space of needing to be seen, heard, and recognized because you don't have that foundation within yourself. I'm going to check these comments really quickly. Open. Ooh, I did that to myself for years, big time. This has been one of my biggest realizations lately. I feel so seen by you. Oh my gosh, I love all these comments. I love it. So, based on that, and knowing that you can only attune your frequency in this present moment, where are you making now not good enough? Where are you making now not good enough? And where are you making yourself not good enough? Because here's the thing. Once you guys work on deconditioning these 3 things, suddenly you get to show up in your light up without needing to be seen, heard, and recognized. Needing is an energy where you are in that forward masculine paradigm. But if you see, hear, and recognize yourself first, you get to create and operate from this energy of this. I've got shit to say. You get to be in deep alignment as a projector. Suddenly, you're not needing your alignment theme of success. You are in success. Because your guys' success, even though it's linked to things like money, clients, your business within your brain, true projector success is seeing, hearing, and recognizing yourself first. And from that space, suddenly there's no this. You show up, you talk about the things you love, and then people are able to see, hear, and recognize you because you don't need them to. You don't need them to. And when you are creating from a hands wide open place of like, here's this thing, instead of I need you to like this, I need the clients, I need the money. Because you see, hear, and recognize yourself first, those invitations flow. I've got shit to say, and I'm an open throat, so I fall flat a lot. That open throat is actually a really, really, really powerful center. There's other pieces. Bethany, do you happen to know what kind of projector you are? If you're a classic projector, an energy projector, or a mental projector? Because the open throat is actually very, very powerful. Like, I don't like to say especially. You're an energy projector. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So within that, the open throat is super, super powerful because when you're in that openness, you're actually able to speak on things that are really important for other people, that are really, really important for collective energy, for things your audience is going through, for general concepts in the subject that you work on. Sometimes when it's feeling like you're falling flat on your face from an open throat, it can actually be this energy of I'm in my head trying to think of what to say instead of being in this moment in the openness. Because in the openness of already knowing that you're seen, heard, and recognized, suddenly we're not trying to speak from this. It comes. That's the thing. When we're trying, when we're in the trying energy with an undefined throat center, it's going to be like this energy, right? So it's really about like, what is the energy I'm creating in? What is the underlying current of that? That's something that's really important to look at. I'm an open throat as well, emotional and energy projector. Oh, yeah. That'll apply for you as well. The open throat is amazing for me getting into the needs of humans. I love it until I go to talk to a crowd. And this has some deeper conditioning under it. Oof, so true. Once I drop into the moment, everything starts to flow. Yes, 100%. 100%. So now you guys get to show up in your light up and not be in any sort of waiting energy. And here's the really cool thing. As projectors, when you are truly lit up by something, people have literally, it's not possible for you to not be seen, heard, and recognized when you're operating out of the energy of seeing, hearing, and recognizing yourself first. It's not possible. Time doesn't matter with this, right? We're not going, oh, I didn't get the invitation today, which means that means we're still in waiting energy. But when you move moment to moment to moment to moment, you don't need that to happen because you're seeing and recognizing yourself in this moment. So nothing external is needed, and that's where the invitations flow. When a projector truly embodies this energy, I have seen the craziest things happen in my clients' businesses from truly embodying this energy. From really moving moment to moment, doing the deconditioning work, really, really doing the reparenting process, you guys turn into magnets. And so when you're talking about the things that light you up and you've done all this work of untangling what it means and needing it to be perfect, you guys are almost going to project like a generator or a manifesting generator because you're going to feel such a surge of life force energy coming through you because you're so lit up. And when this comes through you, doesn't matter what type of projector you are, this can come through you, this surge of energy from being in your light up. When this comes through you, it's beautiful and it's perfect because it's in alignment, because you're following your soul. And also, your job is to not put pressure on that energy and to trust the ebb, trust the flow, and you're able to trust the ebb of this energy and trust the returning flow because it will return every single time if you are seeing, hearing, and recognizing yourself first. How are you guys feeling? Are you understanding the invitation and what it really, truly, actually means? Looking forward, pressure was my 2021 energy. Yes, Bethany, amazing. Yes, girl. Yeah, pressure. I want to talk about pressure for just a second for projectors. Pressure is an energy that will just completely burn you out so quickly. And you will feel like there is nothing outside of logic. You guys really are within playing into this feminine paradigm and seeing, hearing, and recognizing yourself first. You guys are not meant to be playing in logic. When you play in logic, you see logical results that are truly just based on the amount of work you do. That's what logic is, right? We do a thing and expect a result. That's exhausting. That's exhausting for all energy types, but projectors, like, you are going to burn out so quickly if you're doing a thing to see a result. But when you have the underlying energetics, suddenly, this is something my coach talks about a lot. I work with Genevieve Rackham. I'm in her mastermind. She talks about the energetics of potency. You guys are able to tap into that on such a level when you embody these concepts that one action, one aligned action, one I'm lit up, I see, hear, and recognize myself, can create massive results. One activated action, activated meaning you have these underlying energetics, you've done the deconditioning work, you're showing up from a place of not need, you're showing up because it's your light up. One activated action is more powerful than thousands that are dormant. Dormant action is from the mind. Dormant action is I should do this to get a result. Dormant action is waiting. I have loved this so much. I want to tell you guys about the projector frequency now. This is a projector business alignment program. So you can fully tap into this feminine energetic, do the deconditioning work, and start tapping into the energy of potency. This is the work that I have done with my one-on-one projector clients who have stepped out of the paradigm of pressure, who've stepped out of the paradigm of masculine, and have fully embodied this energy. And not only do they get more clients, not only do they make more, but what really happens is they're freaking happy. That's the thing that really matters to me within this client work is like they're operating in such a deep place of alignment that they're not forcing, they're not pressuring, they're not worried, they're not operating out of fear in their businesses. So what we're going to be doing in the projector frequency is we are going to be going deeply into not only the reparenting process and the deconditioning so you can get that foundation clear for you, but we're also going to be going into actual strategy for projectors. Those actual pieces once we get the energetics set up. So when you take the action, you're taking it from a place of activation instead of dormancy. Where you're not waiting on the inspiration, you're not waiting on the clients, and we're going into a space of deep ownership. Because here's the thing with projectors. You guys have such a combination of light and power. And so many projectors have lost touch with one of these. And when you bring that lightness and that power together, that's where we really start to activate your aura and you start to move from a place of, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying my business. I'm enjoying the way I show up. I'm playing the game because I enjoy the game, not to get a certain result, and that's when things explode. So many people are operating out of, I'm doing this to get something. That, in and of itself, is waiting energy. We're also going to be going into your success and how to truly align to that moment to moment to moment to moment. So this is absolutely perfect for you. Like, this program will change your life if you own a business and you felt yourself kind of with one foot in the conditioning and one foot in alignment, and you are ready to see what happens when you practice the frequency of being in that projector alignment moment to moment to moment to moment, and you see that momentum of being in the feminine paradigm as opposed to this gotta correct, I'm in pressure, oh, I know I can do it my way, oh, I'm in bitterness, I know I can do it my way, I want things to grow, but I know I can do it my way. This is where we put both feet into alignment in your business, in the way you operate. Analyze where you're in the waiting energy in terms of being seen, being heard, and being recognized, because this, even just this free masterclass, will shift everything. Have an incredible Sunday, you guys. Bye.